expectation gaps that a patient has, recognizing when there's a problem. Anybody that's ever worked at the front desk at a clinic knows exactly who in the waiting area is anxious or agitated about being 5 minutes behind in their appointment. You can see it, it's visible, and that's the person that can be a part of, hey, let's increase that patient satisfaction. Similarly, you can do that from a clinical basis as well. Think about it's 4:30 at night, our patient has gone home, we've given instructions, and she gets home and says, I don't remember what I'm supposed to do here. She picks up the phone and calls. The person she usually gets to first is the nurse, who can say, let me guide you through this, let me spend some extra time talking to you about what those instructions mean. We'll certainly get you connected to the physician if there's a question that you want to ask to them directly. But most of the time it's to take the extra few minutes to say, let me walk through this to make sure that you understood so that we get the better outcomes. That's another one of those circumstances where somebody who's not being paid on productivity is rendering value beyond the individual encounter without pulling that physician out of that fee-for-service compensation that's going on. So the closing thought here is to think more proactively about how you can recognize your exposure to risk, because we all have it, how you can use that to be planful about, I'm not going to do all things to all people. I'm actually going to have my programs follow the dollars. I'm going to use the risk basis that I have today to construct where I'm going to create the benefit, and then I'm going to use the performance that I generate from that to be able to attract the next step of risk. And through that then, using those team-based incentives, using those physician compensation models so that you have your team getting the same incentives that you are as an organization, that's the single fastest way to really grease the wheels on if we're going from the find, the act, the align, if we're going into activating population health, if we're going to make meaning out of this concept, then these are the pieces where we need to have the flow of dollars follow where our risk is, follow where our incentives